This is an interesting experience for me. I'm not driving a car for about 4 years now, uh, and I've taken to walking a lot when it's nice out, and take the bus. And when I take the bus, it's interesting to me because I meet so many different people from different areas of the world. You can be sitting on the bus and uh, just say hello to somebody, and they'll say hello back, and it's quite interesting because most people are very nice and talkative, and I always ask them, "How did you get to Canada?" And they say some say, well, they had degrees, and so they were coming to Canada to get more education. There's other people who say, well, they came to Canada because they had a girlfriend or a wife that wanted them here. So that's nice things to talk about. I always ask them if they have children or not. And if they have children, uh, I ask them, do they massage their children's feet? Do they massage their children? A good portion of people say no. And so I say that I'm a reflexologist and I've been doing it for a number of years, and have a conversation with them as amount of time as they have. And then towards the end, I'll say to them, it's really nice that you came to Canada because we need you here. And some people say, what do you mean we need you? So, well, we don't have, in Canada, the average family has 2 to 3 children. And, well, if you have only 2 or 3 children being born to how many people are having children, we don't have enough uh, babies coming and children coming to support our schools and our other things that we do in Canada. And they're kind of surprised about that. And so I said, yes, it's really good that you come to Canada. And then I asked them, how did you get here? And they say, well, I got an application and got okayed. And I said, it's interesting to me that some people come and some people can't come. They say, yeah. And I say, well, how come you got here and the other millions of people who try to get here can't get here? And they say, I don't know. And I say, well, we have certifications of certain kinds and degrees and so forth, so we want you here for what you have. But some people come here just to study, so how come they come and not another person next to them? So, as we're talking, I asked them, do you mind me asking you anything about your beliefs? Some of them will say, oh, that's okay, sure. And they'll tell me their religious beliefs. And as we're talking, I'll just say, well, it's a puzzle for most people why they can come and other people haven't. And then I tell them there's a book called the Book of Mormon that I read, and it says the people who come to this part of the world are the ones that God brings here. And they say, oh, really? I say, yes. So you got here because I point my finger up. So I point my finger up and I say, the reason you're here, from what the Book of Mormon says, is God's coming. And they always nod their heads say, yeah. I said, well, all the other millions of people want to come and they can't get here, so it must be a reason. And I say, that I do that, and they always put their hand up and they go, "Yeah, you're right." It's really lovely because uh, it brings a conversation that is in my heart, and we share different things. And then I'll say to people, "I'm a reflexologist, and I work on bodies." And they say, "Oh, that's interesting." Some people know about reflexology, and some people have had it, and they say, "Oh, yeah, it's really good." And I say, "Yeah, I've been doing it for 52 years, and I really like it, and it really helps people." And then I'll say, "You know, I don't know you, you don't know me, but by then we've already exchanged our names." And Linda, where did I end up?
Linda.
um, so the so I always ask them, "Do you have any friends here?" And they say, "Well, one or two or something." Some people say, "No, it's just my wife and I." Or I say, "You know, I just met you. I think I like you. How about being my friend?" And they say, "Be your friend?" I say, "Yeah, you don't know anybody. I know everything here. And how about we become friends?" And they say, "Oh, yeah, I'd like to have a friend." I said, "Well, you got a cell phone?" They all say yes. I said, "Why don't you put my phone number down on your cell phone and give me a call? And you and I can become friends." And they got big grins on their faces and so happy because they haven't got any friends. And so they'll phone me. Too loud? Uh, they'll they'll phone me and give me their names and their phone numbers, and so we'll chat with each other every so often and see how they're doing and so forth. And if they have any questions, then I try to answer them for them and try to guide them to where they need to have. And a lot of people phoned me back and said, "Thank you, Wayne. That was very nice of you, and appreciate you doing that." And I said, "Yeah, and how are your feet and how are your arms and how's whoever is in the family and how's everybody doing?" And just be friends. So that's a nice thing for me to get new friends. That sounds kind of funny, but I like new friends.